player goes unchecked.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it all comes down to this. We have one more round to go. Many teams have been eliminated. Many teams to eliminate further. I think we're eliminating 12 more teams with just this round. And we've got two teams on the verge of such. Didn't Ask versus Big Fans, both 4 and 3. And honestly, after last qualifier, I didn't expect both of these teams to be in this position.
I didn't either, Harrison. Honestly, some teams have made quite their running and kicked these teams out of closed qualifiers, and these are two teams that were pretty dominant in the last qualifiers, in the open qualifier last week, and now they both find themselves on the verge of elimination. The loser will definitely not make SCS closed qualifiers, and the winner, well, they just might, but there's still no guarantee, so you really gotta win big. You gotta win by as many rounds as possible, really show dominance, because everything factors into your match, and, well, it's gonna be a sad day for one of these teams, and maybe a happy day for the other.
Yeah, and if my math is mathing correctly, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Actually, wait, Butter Thieves got a bye. Okay, yeah, 10 5 and 2 teams. So that means, right, they're all going to be seated against each other. Actually, wait. There's 10 5 and 2 teams. But one of the 6 and 1 teams has to be seated against a 5 and 2 team, right?
I think so, yes. Well, there's probably 1 or 2 matchups that are like flip-flop because of like matches, like maybe someone's already played a couple 5 and 2 teams or something like that, so maybe they got seeded against a lower team. Seeding's crazy. Seeding's all weird.
The seeding's weird. Like, Not Weaves is playing Stay Safe. Yeah,
and
Not Weaves is 6 and 1.
And they beat Six
Karma. 5
Karma.
and 2. Yeah, Karma is playing reality TV.
Well, Not Weaves beat them, which is just insane. The Dan Friend and Co. just causing miracles. Who knows?
So okay. My math is incorrect. Basically, it's possible that we have 5 of the 5 and 2 teams going 5 and 3, and then 7 of the 4 and 3 teams, 7 out of 14 of the 4 and 3 teams going 5 and 3. So there will be 12. Unfortunately, right, we already have 3 teams qualified. We have 1 5 and 3 team in Butter Thieves, and out of those remaining 10, we have another 5, or perhaps 5. So like 8 to 9 teams are going to be 5 and 3 and confirmed, which means the rest of those 5 and 3 teams, 3 or 4 teams you'll be 5 and 3, but you'll still get eliminated. So that even if Big Fans or Didn't Ask win, let me check their tiebreakers.
It'll be close. I think they're about in the middle.
Yeah, 23, 23, 24.
It'll be tight for sure.
Butter Thieves only has a 13. They're probably not making it.
Yeah,
Gangster Disciples is only at 11. Ooh. So actually, Gangster Disciples at 11, probably not going to make it. Butter Thieves not going to make it because they're at 13. They're already less than all the other teams with a tiebreaker. And the next lowest would be Average Joe's at an 18, X13 at 19. So
yeah, I think it's safe to say any of those teams at the very bottom probably not going to see them in, but this middle of the pack, it can shift around potentially.
Yeah, and Didn't Ask and Big Fans, right? If they win, the way the tiebreaker works is they add up all the winning records of the teams you've played against, and no matter who loses this game, right, they'll have 4 wins. So Big Fans will be at 26, or Didn't Ask will be at 27. So whoever wins this game is safe, right? Just by virtue of the tiebreaker. See, we're doing math live on stream. Look at that.
That's hard.
But wow, we still don't have all we did that much, and we still don't have all 10 players in lobby, which means we have time to do rosters.
Yay!
Woo! Didn't Ask, Delta Force, Destroyer, Swoof, Trevmac, and Space. Big Fans, Cordell, Mapbugger, Jarden, Perseus, and Koso. Last time we saw Big Fans on mainstream, they lost to JJ because they decided that taking JJ to theme park was a good idea. Last time we saw Didn't Ask, they trolled, and they made me really angry. So here's hoping they don't do that again.
Well, hopefully not. At least that's the case. Well, we're going to Chalet. We don't need to see in a map band graphic. No, that's exactly where we're going to. First time we were watching the map bands go on through, we were a little scared. our cheeks were clenched a little bit because we thought we might be going to Oregon. But we avoided it narrowly. We avoided Oregon. So thanks to, I think it was Big Fans that ended up picking the map, so didn't ask it to start on the attacking side. And we're going to Chalet. Again, one of those maps that when we were talking about in the last matchup, that is starting to become more and more common, but is still a fresher map in the competitive scene. And always fun to watch, I feel like, at least when there's operators like Azami on the board. So hopefully she makes it through bans. I doubt it, because every team seems to be banning Azami in these qualifiers, and especially on maps like Cafe, which we watched just before and previously, and Chalet as well. She's very strong on every map, really. I mean, it's Azami. You can make your own cover anywhere on the map. It's pretty insane. One of the most surreal operators in Rainbow Six, but it's an awesome addition to the game. So hopefully we see her go on through, but I think I just heard the sound of the lobby starting up. So we're finally sending it into the lobby onto Chalet.
Let's go.
Didn't ask on the attack. Big Fans on the defense. Harrison, you think Azami will stay up through the ban phase?
I hope so. We've seen her a couple times. We even saw her earlier today. So there are certain teams who are willing to leave her up. Nook, on the other hand, we have only seen, I've only seen, I think, twice throughout the first, like throughout both quals. She is just banned at every turn. Thatcher's up next, who, still doesn't see a terrible amount of playtime. His ban rate is significantly lower than it once was, but he still gets banned every so often. And didn't ask end up banning Mira. So Big Fans have a choice now. With Thatcher gone, do they really want Cade up? Do they really want Valk up? Are they going to leave up? I think Cade is the biggest choice here. And they're going to go with neither?
Oh.
What my? So
Plot
Cade
twist.
with a Thatcher ban, Valkyrie, and Azami all still on the playing field.
That's gutsy to see Wamai go off the board now. I don't know how I feel about Wamai going away and off the board, but you can see how Big Fans feels about it. They brought out a Rook and a Doc on their first defensive lineup. This is what I like to see. I bet you we're going to see some library play, potentially from Jarden, sitting in that corner and getting burnt out and just continuing to stim themselves and stay alive. Maybe even grab a plate of Rook armor and wear that as well to battle. Who knows what might happen, but Doc much more viable now that they have the Bailiff, and as well will fully stim any operator to 200 HP. Now obviously you don't get all of those benefits of the 200 HP, but you get max healed and healed through that. So if a player's down but not out, you can stim them from across the map. But Doc has definitely become a lot more fun and much more playable. Rook, well, definitely an interesting choice. I mean, you get that benefit of the self-revive, so kind of that withstand ability coming out through with the Rook. So I like these changes. I like these operators being brought, and a very heavy, aggressive lineup here for Big Fans.
I thought they're joined too, not by like, like a Zombie, sure. They're not joined by like, a Smoke or a Mute or a Jaeger or something like that. No, it's Frost and Oryx. So interesting lineup, especially for this top floor site. And wow, Kosa playing on those blue stairs almost catches an attacker darting into bar. Or that may have been Delta Force's clone, now that I think about it. But the use of the clone's no longer there. Cordell, a nice angle through that main door, catches Delta Force. Delta Force got to give him props for the shot, and he'll be our first casualty.
Delta Force falling early, not what you want if you're a fan I didn't ask, is those nades off the board are going to make it much more tricky to deal with any of those keeper barriers that remain on the map. Trev Mac will as well fall, so now those Sophia concussive impacts and lifeline stuns no longer going to be available. Only 60 seconds has been taken off the clock, and Didn't Ask haven't even entered the building. Big Fans have strewn all across the map. Cordell able to find a second for the round now as they're still hanging out here on this front door angle. Space will finally bring them down, but they'll take a swing on the mezzanine and lose that one out to Perseus. It's all left down to Swoop, who will end up losing their life to Kosa, who still has yet to be cleared from the blue stairs position, and Didn't Ask with an abysmal attack on round one.
Yeah, the push not good at all. Didn't ask. Looked like they tried to push through front door before they had a hold on library, before they even really begun pushing library. Lots of pieces spread out. The timing was definitely mismanaged, and big fans also landed their shots. Big double kill from that Oryx downstairs, and good first round for the defense. Now we move on to dining room and kitchen, another site where they're going to be tasked with holding the top floor. And if they just identified how poor the library clear was just now, they'll be roaming on that side of the map too.
I hope they will. And I hope Didn't Ask really makes some big adjustments. Now, they'll be able to walk into the main lobby door much easier. It seemed like that was their plan of action, was to take like the bar control first, which is a little odd from below, but a game crash, a rehost, our favorite part of Rainbow Six Siege. It always happens. It seems like round 2 is like, we'll get through one round clean and we're like, yay, we're good, we're going through. And then round 2 hits and someone's game crashes. Someone has a mouse bug. Someone can't hear audio. Someone's drone is stuck. Ugh. Well,
a litany of problems, but it was a game crash this time. And luckily, because the game's just started, we have the B stream to fall back on. So they'll be our scapegoat once again. Don't go anywhere. We got more action ahead of you right after we get all the players in the lobby.
It's not looking the best without some kind of reaction here.
I'm so shocked, Stick, that they honestly didn't cut off or check that crossfire. Like, they just left Stern unchecked, firing the cross. And if Stern had been a little bit faster and hit their shots, that would have basically killed that whole attack dead. I mean, it kind of has regardless, because it's a 4v3. The surprise is spoiled. It's that's smoke right there. Smoke getting protected by smoke in that instance. Good kill from Floofsap coming around. Floof's coming in one more time, trying to play on the backside of the bomb chassis, but it's Snipey getting into work as the guns of Homeland begin to heat up here. Instead, Floof's, though, caught looking from another angle. A bunch of little rat holes here on the top floor. They're ducking in and out of, but it's Snipey who finishes it off. And Homeland, I'll be honest, again, Stick, kind of on the back of their gun skill, winning out a round.
Yeah, another so far, just the story of the end of these rounds, utter chaos, and whichever team wins the game of timing has just got it right in there. So unlucky for the Ying, was waiting there, was watching for the rotate, and then she turns her attention back to lockers, and bam, that's right when the Jaeger hits the rotate and he gets in. Homeland so far leading this one. And, you know, you would think this is a closer game. It feels like Okami have kind of got some of the leverage in the mid-round, but just maybe a kind of a couple errors and miscommunication. I mean, for that player in Archives to just drop the hatch and, you know, just gotta hit the escape valve there. I get the idea. It didn't seem like the rest of the team was, you know, quite ready to recover from that, though.
No, and it's that chaos really does seem to favor Homeland. I mean, I don't have enough tape of Okami really, you know, make a judgment, but I do think that Homeland is hitting better shots. They're hitting more of their shots. And when you get into chaotic situations like that at the end of rounds, right, usually the people who come out on top are the people who gun better, right? Chaos is a ladder. Let's, you know, I'm not going to bandy it around. Sometimes you can get a good advantage out of a chaotic setup like that. But I think a lot of the time, faster reflexes, more practice, whatever you want to call it, it just sort of takes over in those anarchy situations. And I think that's what essentially has happened the last couple of rounds. Okami is doing well when their defense feels structured. And then the minute that Homeland Sports kind of shatters that structure and we're just in free-for-all territory, Okami loses out.
Yeah, I just feel like it's been kind of the consistency. Homeland been able to react a lot better. Here's Raki with the leadoff kill. Stern has found himself at the bad end of that one so far, suffering either death or glory and the start of things here. Nino looking to take a bit of opposition to this player out towards detention, but the cutoff there, Raki just decided to run in and gun him down. Advantage to Homeland. They're up by 2.
We're back. Free host can. Oh. Why is he saying it's wrong? They gave the win to.
Oh.
All right. We're going back to B stream. See you guys in a bit.
Go have
Homeland looking like they are exactly dialed in, know what they want to do. They're ready for Border, and it's hard to say this isn't what I was expecting. Homeland are so drilled on Border. It's a map that they choose to be comfortable on, and I think it does sit outside the pool of a lot of other rosters because when you look at this one, it's like Border. You know, you could have 100 different strats for every different site, but it's hard to really be prepared for this one if you can't adapt in the immediate moment. I think Homeland have been entirely on top of that one. It almost feels hard to follow. Just the quick strike ability, Homeland have been in there. Just at any given moment, you know, can't discount as well. Raki just stepping in towards that custom side, opening it up with the triple kill. There was no option for Okami to even respond.
No, I mean, there really wasn't. I think that's kind of the most telling aspect of this. Like, the penetration coming out of the Homeland side is so good, right? Like, they're just in, and suddenly Okami, their whole defensive plan has just been thrown completely off the rails because one or two members of Homeland Esports is just in. And let's not get over the fact too that pretty much on the early starts, Homeland Esports is having the better of most of those clashes in the early round. I think that first round we saw Zez go down early. That was the only one that really stuck out in my mind. The other two times, Homeland Esports has just found roamers and brought them down and really isolated and shut them off. And wow, that is no good. I'm assuming Stern was on a peak right there. I'm assuming. I'm not going to castigate him for peaking when they're 3 down. But yeah, that's no good. Homeland gonna just get so much momentum off of kills like that.
And you know, it brings me back to this idea that I brought up earlier. When I look at the Okami roster, I don't see any player that I can individually kind of take out of this one as some kind of super, you know, entry player.
Yeah.
There's no Ashen. There's no, you know, that player who just gets in and makes the difference happen. And I think it has caused some major drama for Okami so far. Not only that, but also Stern just wants to get into these fights. He's taken them, but every single time he's just found himself on the bad end of that one. And great reaction shot from Quinner there, but is it going to be enough? He does end up trading with Snipey. Ultimately, though, it's still a 3 versus 3, and you have a feeling like Homeland might just explode onto the site.
I don't know. Empty trying to battle it back here. Will take Rival down, so that leaves a very low health Flutes and Zez here. They're still alive and in it. Hiding there, doesn't know. I think maybe has an idea. Oh, misses the opening. What a golden window for Ampty not to be able to hit the shot, and they will get the down and they will get the finish right there. So Ampty saving the bacon just a little bit. Nino swinging out as well, and okay, there's a round win for Okami. A little bit rough around the edges, but a well-deserved you are terrible right back in the chat to keep it fresh. You gotta love it.
Well, I think so far positive note for Ampty and Quinner, who feel like they have been able to kind of promote themselves just when the rest of the squad can get to.
All right. Third time's a charm. I guess technically not third time, but we include the original lobby. Third time's a charm. Score is right. No one's going to crash. And we're going to get this freaking game over. Kitchen Dining, again, the next site. If you missed the first round, Big Fans defended upstairs. Or, sorry, not upstairs.
They defended Master.
Yeah, it was Master.
But really, they defended the front door and library. If we're realistic, I mean, Dynasty didn't even get in the building or anywhere near the bomb site.
Their clear kind of sucked eggs.
It was bad.
It was terrible. We'll see how they do this round. Big Fans, they have Cordell by Games, Matt Bonger, I think, Spawn? No, okay, putting in a renegade down. Are they gonna have someone play Library? Yes, I think.
At least there's holes. Right. I don't know if they will do too
much
much
they got
emphasis.
the reinforcement too.
Yeah. Oh, they're ready for it. They're like, we are holding this. We're holding it. We're holding it down. Jarden setting up, holding the bomb site. The lone anchor, it seems, is pretty much his whole team is evicted, and all around the map is Big Fans. Perseus obviously using Izami to perfection.
Why are they all crouch holds?
I don't know if that gives the attackers a better angle, or the defenders rather a better angle.
But it's also like, I mean, like
really
if you're like
sure.
that Izami right on the chimney wall, all it's gonna do is just force you to peek slower. I don't know. A little bit odd. But TrevMac using an Ash Charge to blow open the ceiling, or, well, floor, depending on your perspective. And what that's going to do is, once the nests start clearing, if anyone decides to run down the trophy stairs, someone will be there to kill them. However, they're clearing from the solar side, and the only person there is Kosa, who's just going to shoot the X-Kairos, and be on his way.
Kosa able to damage a couple of those pellets, but there's plenty more in the pocket of Soof, as you already hear more of those X-Kairos pellets being launched from the launcher, and well, that wall will eventually get opened on up in Solar, but Big Fans are not really prepared for this Solar execute. They've extended and put many of their resources over toward the library side of the map, and the gunfight's going to occur between Destroyer and Kosa, who, well, Destroyer will end up being a little worse for wear, but the anchor on the bomb site has fallen. Jarden has gone away, and that could be control for the bomb site. It's exactly what it is. As Swoof has found his way on in, the diffuser begins to get planted, but he thinks better of it. He gets off of the plant as the hatch has been compromised, and Swoof will relocate their position now into dining as well. They've got coverage from Delta Force, but the floor hole made by Matt Bonger using a Rudy's punch to perfection denies the plant from going down, and 60 seconds left on the board. There's no safe avenue to plant the diffusers. Top floor control remains in the hands of the defense. Percy is able to find one on the Destroyer now as, again, the diffuser begins to get planted, but this time it will stay. Coverage from space able to bring down Matt Bonger, who remains on the hatch. 30 seconds left for this counter diffuse to come in play. Kosa will find one through the long angle, but space with the response. Perseus and Cordell from nowhere able to get on in, and a retake from Big Fans is the left side wide open, but they come back through. They hold down Kitchen, and they get the counter diffuse.
And I gotta say, that's kind of down to Swoof. Why did he move? You can plant safe on the hatch there. There's no angle because of the chassis. And I mean, even if there is, they can't kill you quick enough for someone to respond. Like if Space had just been sitting on that angle the entire time, then Swoof is unkillable.
There was less than a second on that diffuser.
I don't know why Swoof stopped.
Oh,
but it really cost his team because not just like Swoof dying or whatever, because they got the plant down. It's the fact that it allowed Big Fans the time to recollect themselves and then get a freebie from upstairs. Like that play, especially with how retakeable kitchen dining is when you have top floor control, the only way that play works is if you take the defenders off guard, and Swoof repositioning there gave the defenders enough time to not get caught off guard.
Well, the information game, the Meister bubbles in sight. I mean,
that was just odd.
I mean,
Space did his best. Space got 3 kills, but it wasn't enough.
No, it was a horrible decision. Swoof just maybe not expecting the vertical play to come through. Matt Bonger using a Rooney into perfect effectiveness. I mean, that's what happens when Ubisoft gives an operator a bionic arm and superhuman punch ability to be able to make punch holes with their fist, and he's able to get that. He probably would have still gotten the kill through the floor, but the punch certainly made it a little bit easier to spot that player planting the diffuser in kitchen. Or dining, rather. Ugh.
I'm sure they really want that round back after what transpired. See if they're able to successfully attack Bar, but step 1 to Bar is a library clear. At least they get the Aruni gate burned. And, well, now we'll see what they do. Last time, they all died.
Funny enough, there's no Jaeger, there's no Wamai, there's no Azami being brought out by Big Fans, so not your typical defense of Bar. Instead, they're electing to bring Goyo and Malusi and Aruni, so a little puzzling for me, because Big Fans, well, they're not really protected from any sort of projectiles or throwables that could be utilized here by the Didnask attackers, but they're lacking in doing so. Delta Force, though, will be able to cut off Perseus, who hops over the mezzanine balcony and will fall away.
Oh.
Cordell misses their entire magazine on Space, who was brought down to 1 HP, but able to land the headshot of the detected defender outside.
Unfortunate situation for Big Fans, and a great start for Didn't Ask. Matt Bonger climbing up those blue stairs, checking the angles as he still tries to play behind that shield, only with less support behind him now. Destroyer able to get in through, avoiding the down below angle, and moving on in, trying to deny the shield, catches Matt Bonger, but doesn't get the kill. Matt Bonger gets the better of him, gets one back for his team, almost kills, and finally finishes off Trevmac. Sure, he's flashed, and he ends up, no, full blind running back up the stairs he tried to retreat down. gives his life up to the Lion. Comedy of errors there for the Aruni. Space gets his 3rd kill on Kosa despite the low HP, catching him in the hallway. Leaves Jarden alone in a 1 versus 3. There's a couple frost mats under that window, but it's not going to matter. Jarden looks the wrong way at the wrong time. Delta Force cleans him up, and they get their first round.
Well, Dinas finally able to get an attack, and it's a good one to come by, but Big Fans, they didn't bring the operators really to defend bar. And also, it really came down to misplays. You saw right there on the run out. Cordell obviously whiffing their shots on the player standing still on their roof, and well, that's a little bit of a problem. If that was fixed and the Lion ended up falling, Space found 3 that round on 1 HP. If he fell, he would have found 0 that round. So ultimately, things fall short for Big Fans, and that sometimes, you know, one little whiff ends up being the complete difference in an entire round, and that's exactly what we just saw there. Cordell not landing the shots, and Space taking advantage of that and finding 3 for themselves and leading the charge for Didn't Ask.
Yeah, and if your teammate ever does that in rank, like if they ever whiff on a guy and that guy ends up like 4 king or something, you blame them.
Oh,
100%.
Yes.
You yell at them, you make them cry. So hopefully, Big Fans is making Cordell cry for whiffing on Space, who is 6-1 after the rehost. Did his best in the previous round, couldn't win it. Did his best this round, and they were successful. Because the library clear, well, I mean, it still didn't really go as planned because they lost 2 picks to Matt Bonger, which wasn't great. But they got 2 roamers beforehand, so it didn't matter as much. Now they have to attack basement. Big Fans have now defended every single site on the map, which is awesome. Love to see variety. And they'll bring Valkyrie out. So they've got more info to play with. No Zami. Didn't ask. Already moving in downstairs. They've got a Tachanka 2 from Jarden instead of a smoke, which is a little bit odd. But I mean, who knows? We'll see how he plays with it.
I guess it enables Big Fans to play longer angles and have those operators run or prevent shotguns from being ran. Instead, just hold long angles and hold these long lines of sight. That could be the potential play. By bringing the Tachanka, obviously the LMG does so much damage to walls and will very easily rip apart walls, especially on a map like Chalet, which the walls are just made of paper mache, so you can just rip through them with those LMG bullets like they are nothing. And well, so far, Didn't Ask has found their way very much past the Big Fans defense. There's not really too much pressure as this elbow wall will be open in just a moment. The Cade Claw will go through onto the back wall, but not to find the elbow wall, which will get
C4?
opened up. So the boiler wall has now been opened, exposing Jarden to a little bit more tricky of an area. The wall will get opened up and the EMP comes through, so both walls now of the backside will be opened on up, even contesting and making it a more claustrophobic defense here for Big Fans.
All right, I gotta wonder what the hell that play was. For one, the C4 was, I mean, just timed terribly. 2, why did the Cade put his Electro Claw that early onto the wall if they had info? If they had full info?
I couldn't tell you.
And also, like, right in the middle of the wall, where it was obviously gonna get caught by the EMP. I don't know. That was kind of weird. But hey, they get the wall open. In jumps Delta Force, looking for 2 kills. He's got pings on both maps. Cordell with the block sight. Looking for the next. His Destroyer gets a nade kill down on sight. That's the Tachanka. That's all your entry denial gone. And this Nobu evading the sightline of this Jaeger. He'll get support from Destroyer as well. And in he comes with the block sight again. Kosa 1 HP. Plant going down from Swoof. Matt Bonger's gotta make a move. He's gonna get in behind the pillar, but Trevmac still covering from the other angle. Swoof gets the plant off, and there is nothing Kosa can do. Delta Force comes in for a 3-piece. What a play upstairs, and Didn't Ask tie the game.
Didn't Ask with an incredible attack, and really bouncing off the fact that Big Fans defended horribly. Missed C4 that kind of came in for no reason. There was information on that back wall, and the Cade, well, threw the Electric Claw onto that back wall, onto the long angle that goes closer to the west main stairs, and instead of the elbow wall, which is getting opened up, the boiler wall. So that got open for free, and then the Electric Claw was too close to the mute jammer. So if you throw the electric claw higher on that wall, either the electric claw stays up or the mute jammer stays up, and that wall stays closed. Instead, the electric claw was thrown right at the middle of the wall, so it just got open because, well, the EMP came through, and the EMP impact has enough of a radius to reach about to halfway of the wall, it's depending on where you throw it. But if you disperse that denial far enough, then you can't open that wall, and nade would have had to have come through, or you would have had to go and expose yourself from boiler to be able to open up that wall. Instead, neither of those things had to happen due to a misplay by Kosa and the electric claw, as well as the C4, which I believe also came from Kosa. So back to master bedroom goes Big Fans, hoping for better results in their basement defense as well as their bar defense, which both definitely didn't go so well. But this site they've won once before, and that really came off of Didn't Ask not even getting inside of the building.
I hope they do this. And that's all I'm going to say. All right. Master bedroom. Doc Rook combo comes out once again. And Didn't Ask aren't even going to try and fix the library clear. They're just going to abandon it entirely. Going for the full solar take with space. Downstairs on the trophy window for a cutoff. Destroyer on those windows. Trevmac, the Finca. Coming in on the office balcony. He's got that open barricade. Sees some shots from the P90 of Jarden. And if he waits patiently enough, I think he could get a freebie. But no one's exposing themselves, at least not for now. Matt Bonger, though, right on the other side of the barricade, loses the fight! Trevmac with the opening kill. Delta Force another as he just swings into Solar. What? Perseus is clear. Kosa's dead? What's going on? Swoof is planting. Swoof is on Zoe. We'll put that guy on Zoe. They're trolling. Perseus is dead, though. And now Cordell is... What just happened? And there's the cutoff! What?
What the hell?
Alright, so switching to the solar take. Obviously paying off.
Most definitely. Didn't Ask with a horrific attack in round 1, and all of a sudden, it's come back.
When they just do that the first time?
Incredible. Apparently, you know what, they just need a warm-up round. They need to see what the site looks like, and then they're just going to completely expose Big Fans and rumble their defense.
That was like the old Penta feeler round.
Yeah, that's exactly. That's the perfect it's a perfect analogy for it, right? You feel it out, and then you're like, okay, this is how we're gonna do it. This is how we're gonna take it out. So the first round, we do whatever. We try to get our kills. If it doesn't work, oh well. And now the IGL kind of knows what the bomb site looks like, and then you can just make a shot call, hit the bomb site, and that's exactly what Didn't Ask did. They found 2 defenders on site, and just repelled in and planted. Swoof was on Sophia, going and planting, and I mean, you don't even need to open a wall if Didn't Ask is going to be so far extended off of the bomb site, and that's exactly what punished them. As Big Fans, they fell short in that round. Didn't Ask walking on in, great coverage and good flank watch overall. Space was way the hell outside and holding onto the trophy stairs flank and ended up getting a kill for it. So good patience and good showmanship of how to play flank watch properly. If you're told to sit and stay and hold an angle, do it. You'll get a kill. Sometimes.
A lot of times.
A lot of times. People like to run around in this game a lot, so it's pretty easy to get a kill if you just sit outside and wait for someone to rotate.
You know what's a little bit odd? They have that blue shield, but they don't have a Jaeger.
Again. It's the second time around.
Yeah, they're still just chilling with the Aruni. Now, we don't have 2... it doesn't look like we're going to have 2 really early kills on roamers for Big Fans. So this is where that library clear now, the weakness of it, might come into play. They don't have, or they're not going to have that early man advantage to play with. They're going to have to go in 5v5, clear this guy out of chimney, follow it up with the blue stairs clear, and we'll see if they're actually able to put it together.
Twitchrone's gonna go through and see that there's no ADSs or anything protecting the blue shield, so it's just gonna be a free nade for someone like Destroyer who can just simply nade that shield from the stairs. Might even be able to find a player from it. So Woof is struggling to get this library wall open. We'll finally be able to do so as the nades come through to get rid of that mute jammer, and it goes away. But only 1 pellet lands, and Perseus can still just chill out here. They're not quite yet exposed, and still trying to figure out how to clear out this alibi from this top mezzanine position. Their feet just barely exposed for a millisecond. But Perseus remains alive and still a pain in the side here for Didn't Ask, as they have yet to make an answer for this alibi.
And they almost kill him. Perseus left on 1 HP. Delta Force, the first casualty of the round before Trevmac instantly refrags. So they go 1 for 1. HP still in the favor of Didn't Ask. They drone out. They see Matt Bonger is still tucked on that shield, and Perseus is able to get away. Well, not scot-free because he's on 1 HP, but with his life. Trevmac, the next casualty. Matt Bonger takes him down as he tries to make his way in. Space could be next, but no, Matt Bonger gets aggressive, peeks up, and Kosa the next to fall thanks to Destroyer, I think peeking him through the floor? I'm not quite sure where the Goya was. Another player ascending the blue stairs to retake control. That might be Perseus. On 1 HP, he gets a kill, instantly refragged by Space. And now Jarden's in a 1 versus 2. Trying to get this even half, that 3-3 split. That would put Big Fans in a tremendous position heading into the second half. Now the stuns are coming in. The Banshee roaring. Swoof now dead, but they have the info. Space knows he's in bar stock. Here comes the swing from the Lion. He doesn't deal enough damage on the first, but kills him on the re-engage. Space, another beautiful round from the flex support for Delta Force's team. And Didn't Ask, take the half 4-2.
And I don't think they should, because Didn't Ask aren't using their utility. I mean, Big Fans isn't even bringing a Jaeger. They're completely neglecting any sort of burn utility. The only thing on the board that could stop any throwable gadget is the Aruni laser gates, but those can get taken out for 30 seconds if you just throw an X-Karos pellet at it or one flashbang or anything. Didn't Ask had nades on the board. I think the Sledge, I can't remember who was playing it, but you have nades. Those are some of the freest kills you can get in Rainbow Six Siege. There's 2 shields on the board, 1 top mezzanine, right, and 1 top loop. All you've got to do is land that nade right at the top mezzanine door. You kill that alibi, who was giving you such a massive problem. So Didn't Ask, sure, they came out on top of that attack, but it should have been way easier and way quicker, because use the utility at your hands. I mean, there's nothing stopping you, and you just refuse to use it. I mean, nades are free kills in Rainbow Six Siege. That's why we've seen the presence go away for grenades, right? You go below and you throw a depth charge from below, you cook it perfectly and blow the defender up from below. Guess what? You don't even have to do that. You don't have to count or do anything crazy. All you gotta do is chuck a nade, maybe cook it a little bit, and land it on top of the defender's head, who they have nothing to stop it.
You know what? I don't think they asked.
Nah.
Smoke.
You got me back.
So, they now have to play on the defense, though, so they don't have to worry about nades anymore. And they don't have to worry about Cordell in this round. Delta Force just hops out of trophy window and claps the buck. So 1 of 2 vertical players now dead. That is huge for the defense. It's not going to be quite as efficient as the attack would have hoped. Trevmac coming under fire and lands the headshot. Kosa dead too. That's the Nomad now gone. Where the hell? Wait, where's... Oh, no, that's an alibi clone. All right, so there's just going to be an opponent-detected outdoors thing on our screen for the rest of this round, or at least until the alibi clone is shot. You know about the Jaeger, and he gets away. Space out of the corner, and Didn't Ask. Up 5v3. Beautiful position.
This is a rough attack right now for Big Fans. Didn't Ask simply just taking the fight to them. They were tasked with opening the wall early. Obviously, Perseus and Jarden were able to do so, but 2 of their teammates passed so quickly where they need to just open windows or do whatever drone initially, because their 2 heavier droners of Perseus and Jarden weren't in a position to be able to do so. And obviously, as you're opening up the main wall, you're more focused on that, and you lose your life. I believe Matt Bonger also expelled a nade on that main wall to help get it open, but 2 minutes have gone through and virtually no map control for Big Fans. Jarden has found themselves above the main stairs player and might be able to catch space if they drop this hole, and they see the muzzle flash of the Jaeger going on through, and now the Jaeger will walk up the main stairs. It's a perfect chance for Jarden to get the kill, but no, just look at him. Jarden, just shoot him, man, as finally able to down the Jaeger, and Space will crawl into view of Perseus, who will confirm that down, but that took way too much time, way too much effort. Perseus will just stroll on into the bomb site and sit behind the Osa shield now. Matt Bonger, though, will fall far across the map as it's left down to the 2 men tasked with opening the wall. Now the 2 last alive.
Jordan's got Case. He's upstairs. He's finally going to come in and join his teammate. Perseus is just face on the shield. He'll start to stun and smoke in, but the gas canister comes out in response, and the team kill from Perseus, trying to pre-fire against the defense, and now he's just gonna, he already just walks through the smoke and right into Swoop. Well, big fans, they stumble in their first, or second attack. They stumble in their, no, that was the first attack. They stumble in their first attack. I don't know why I'm all mixed up. And, didn't ask. Up 5-2. Quite the resurgence from the last game we had them on stream for.
Well, especially considering they started off this match down 0-2. Big fans look like they were just going to run away with it, but now didn't ask. You've got the hot barrels, the hot guns, and the hot frags as they continue to just run amok across the map and continue to obliterate the Big Fans attackers now, as they were doing so when Big Fans was on defense. Now they're on defense and doing it to Big Fans on attack. And again, things just don't look great for Big Fans right now. They're dying way too fast, and they take their time out. They take a little bit of time off the board here to, well, talk some things out potentially, as didn't ask. They're up 5 rounds straight now, and Big Fans have some serious issues to fix, and they need to fix them fast.
The Nas definitely have the momentum in pocket, especially with the efforts of Space and Delta Force, a combined 18-4 in 7 rounds. Meanwhile, on Big Fans, not a single member negative. Opposite, not a single member positive. All of them are negative. The castle now coming out for Didn't Ask as they defend Master Bedroom and Office. Again, the site that sees the least amount of play now in comp, with the basement becoming more and more popular. It's kind of weird that teams still like this site.
I was going to say the same thing, because you can't fall away. That's the biggest issue with Master Bedroom, is like,
and the big window.
You might as well go defend Kitchen, right? Because Kitchen, at least you can fall back and you can give up some of that pressure. And with
the
Master,
big window isn't
you've
looking
got to fight
into
your
sight.
life. Yeah, exactly. And the big window is, you know, you can look down the hatch, maybe down a little bit of vertical in the bomb site, but effectively it's not going to cut you off. And with the castle barricade, you can throw in a renegade on the side of it, and maybe even use the Kiba barriers of Azami if she's left unbanned, which in this case she is. So you could use a lot to be able to cut off that big window sightline, but I just never think that Master is the play, at least not anymore, with how viable Kitchen really has become, as well as Basement. More teams being attracted to that bomb site, which is very weird. It's funny to see the meta shift, as Basement used to be the most hated bomb site on this map when it first was brought out. Everyone was like, this is horrible, no one likes this, you can't defend it, and now it's almost one of the favorites.
Yeah, people just figured out how to play it. I think a lot of people just make decisions too quickly when it comes to sites. Like, there's a way to play every site in the game. Some better than others. Obviously, like, you know, mining, not necessarily the best site. Same thing, you know, Master and Office. But once you figure out how to play it, it becomes a viable option. Nades being thrown up from Matt Bonger, and Trevmac is not standing on the soft floor, so they don't really do anything. Delta Force downstairs, able to get one, and Swoop upstairs gets Matt Bonger. Perseus refrags onto Trev, so eventually that player goes down, but the Bucks caught Skeleton Key up, but can't get the kill. Delta Force lets him live another day, and there's Perseus. Another before he's shut down by Space downstairs, supporting Delta Force. Cordell still trying to buck away and find this Azami. Jarden finally comes onto the window. Something that they should have probably had a little bit earlier, unless that's where the first kill from Delta Force came, was onto that window player. But he's able to get away and back into kitchen, or sorry, into dining, into blue, and down the stairs. So, or up the stairs rather. He goes, what, 2 kills? Pretty much before Swoof took that last one.
Yeah, Didn't Ask continuing to just obliterate Big Fans on their defense, and Big Fans, well, They continue to struggle. They're not in the right positions, just like you said, Harrison. It should have been somewhere on that window. Would have been able to kill Delta Force ages ago, but the Azami was allowed to stay in trophy and continue to pick off more of those attackers. Perseus, well, their barrel finally started to heat up, but it's a little too late for that. There's only 10 seconds left in the round. Cordell needs to make something happen here. They're just going to be forced to vault through the bathroom window. Jordan is still downstairs, not even on the same floor as the bomb site. He's looking for nothing. He's looking for a cookie downstairs by the kitchen, but that's not where the bomb site is. You have to go in and plant the diffuser. Okay. Space will throw their life away, so Jordan will be able to pad their stats, but it doesn't matter because Didn't Ask will send themselves at a match point after Jordan could not find the chocolate chip cookie in downstairs in the kitchen.
So, Didn't Ask up 6-2 now. 6 rounds in a row. Trying to make it a 7th as they go into bar. By the way, aims have finished. Oops. Oh. Our last round, Dan 3041 actually beat 6 Karma.
Please tell me Dan lost this time.
He lost 7-1 to stay safe.
What?
Yeah. And then right after that, Reality TV beat 6 Karma.
I'm pulling it up right now. I've got
So now, Reality TV just stole away first seed. And because of the differential, 6 Karma have technically played against lower teams. Reality TV are the only team finishing 7-1. There's 3 6-2 teams as of right now. Stay Safe, Not Weaves, and 6 Karma. And 6 Karma's tiebreaker is lower than both Stay Safe and Not Weaves. So they just dropped from 1st to 4th with those 2 losses.
Wow,
that is insane.
That's actually nuts.
And I mean, some of these 5-2 teams as well, like Turbo and Co, Somali Pirates, Mystic Academy. Mystic Academy's round tiebreaker, so 6 Karma's at 29. Mystic Academy's at 29. Turbo Co and Somali Pirates are at 27. Like 6 Karma may have just gone from 1st to like
6th. Yeah, 6th or 7th. Or
that's crazy.
Who knows? That's incredible though. But that's the cool thing about like the tiebreaker system and the seeding system, that it factors in everything.
Yeah,
so you gotta
actually weighs who you play. Because I remember that was a big complaint,
really
right?
Impactful.
In Swiss quals prior, you were like, okay, well, why does it matter? Why doesn't it matter more that I beat the 2nd seed team than like why is that weighted equally to this guy beating like the 30th seed team,
beating
like
Jimmy
in the tiebreaker?
Yeah.
And now it does. Now it does matter.
It really does, because 6 Karma is experiencing that rather quickly.
Yep.
Yikes.
Also, we didn't talk because we were talking about the standings and the tiebreakers and stuff. Equally as shocking, Capitao and Glaz coming out for a bar attack.
Oh yeah.
The nade could get an easy kill, and Swoof doesn't react. Matt Bonger with the lead off. I mean, he could. The Capitao could support him. All right, what the heck, Trev Mac? And no, but Matt Bonger overextends, getting the kill. Space gets the trade, and that's it. That's Glaz. That's Glaz dead.
But it's
Space though just decides to sit in front of a soft wall and die. And now it's destroying a 1v3. All right, smokes come out. They're looking like one-ways. They'll flame off the doorway. Jaeger now fully blind. Perseus clambers into bar stock. I guess the pre-fire. All right, I thought that was going to be a lot more intense than it was. I thought Destroyer may have done something, but nope. He just gets pre-fired, and that's it. Big fans. After 6 in a row, finally stop the bleeding and get one back.
And they finally make an answer. Good for big fans to finally find an attack here on Chalet. It's about time. Better late than never on match point. So they bring it to 6-3. They still got to win a few more rounds to bring us here into overtime. But hey, that's one way to kick it off. They went directly into the bomb site. They had plenty of information. You saw the Z-pings coming through and the wall bang onto the player in bar. I believe that was Space that was sitting in bar and just stood in front of a soft wall. And yes, the information was there from big fans. They obviously had a drone somewhere in the bomb site and Didn't Ask, neglecting that information, getting on in and perpetrating their home territory. Well, ended up punishing them, costed them that round, and big fans, they keep themselves in it, so good for them. But again, Didn't Ask has built themselves quite the buffer for big fans to come back from.
10 seconds to go.
We also have, speaking of coming back, these teams will not come back.
5 seconds left.
4-4 elimination. Average Joe's, Abstract Empire, which was Teddy's team, Okami, and Monsters Inc. have all been eliminated.
Wow.
So we
Wowza,
won't see them.
wowza.
In the meantime, going 5-3, Homeland, Achieve Academy, Cosmosis, X13, Lego Fire
Wait.
Truck.
You mean
What
to
are
tell
these?
me? You mean to tell me Achieve Academy?
Yes.
Made it past Achieve.
Yes.
A better placement than Achieve.
Yes.
Yo, one of my college teammates happens to be a part owner of Achieve Esports, and might want to relook at you know, which roster.
I mean,
is who.
especially now that Achieve Esports, because of all the players who had left and Kiru like coming onto the roster like literally 3 days
Yeah.
before qual started, like they were basically a pug stack at that point.
Yeah, it wasn't gonna look too great
was
for
a-
them.
A bit sad.
Oh well.
That's okay though.
Well, the wall will remain closed. At least so far. I don't think Jarden's been able to get that open. Nope, they still got 2 thermite charges in pocket as the bandit trick came through from Trevmac and sealed the wall's fate. Jarden took a little bit of that electrified damage as well. You touch things that shock you, and shock hurts. That's what happened to Jarden. They lost
And
a
some people
fair
like
amount of
that.
HP. Some people like that.
Maybe Jarden's one of them. You know, I won't judge. I mean, I
Maybe.
will. I will, but not outwardly. But I think they finally figured out, hey guys, to stop the bandit trick, we gotta go above. Even though they don't really need to do that because they have stuns and nades. Oh, never mind, they don't have nades.
Nope.
I lied. Matt Bonger
They're
doesn't have
gone.
nades. So okay, all right. So they do have to go above. And who's waiting for him? Who's sitting there waiting? It's Delta Force. Delta Force on the Oryx, chilling on the middle floor. Air jabs being set up to make sure he can't come through. But I'm sure something as trivial as an air jab will not be stopping the great Delta Force.
Oh,
All right, but Cordell will.
the skeleton key will.
Iron sight on the bandit.
Oh. Hey, those
They get the
iron
wall
sights,
open.
They're not terrible, though. The wall finally getting cracked open, but with only 40 seconds left in the round, big fans have to find 4 more defenders. A C4 potentially waiting for them, as you hear one pre-placed above, as Destroyer also has one in pocket they could throw. The first gas canister will go on through, delaying the big fans' attack from making their way on, but no, it's Swift actually missing that second canister to deny the main series. A pinch effort here from big fans, but 20 seconds left. They've got to walk through gas and inhale some of the toxic fumes. I'm not sure where the diffuser is right now. It's still outside the breach. So that means Jarden's going to have to make an entry through there. Where will the plant go down? And where will the defense come from? A swing here now for both teams. Is it even back out? Matt Bonger able to get
what?
one. The coverage is there. And all of a sudden, big fans come out on top with the trades. Trap back the last player alive in Wine. So the tag back over to the wall. They flicked it in because the
quad.
sound kill gives it to him. Now behind the Osa shield. So easily the advantage in favor of Jarden, but if they peek out too far and Trevmac predicts it properly, they'll get an ace clutch, but no, Jarden able to win out the gunfight. The thermite plants the diffuser, they have the coverage of the Osa shield, and somehow big fans come out with a round.
Wow. That was wild, to say the least, for big fans. But the blitz in a sight with those smoke cutoffs ended up working beautifully, especially with that guy heading down main stairs at the perfect time. The coverage from the plant outside the breach was immaculate. And Trevmac, the only one to shoot back, getting a quad, almost the ace clutch. A heroic, a Herculean attempt from Trev. Unfortunately, was not enough. No C4 against that Osa shield. That's a real hard clutch to win. Even though you can kind of see where the attacker's gonna peek from, it's still tough. So 6-4, as big fans have won 2 in a row. Didn't ask. Will opt to go Master Office again, though.
Things looking on the up and up for big fans. They've won 2 in a row. And they're trying to continue that streak. They'd like to make it 4 in a row and send themselves in overtime. They're on a good momentum path right now, certainly after winning that round. They didn't ask, puzzled. I think didn't ask thought that the plant was going to go down on the shelving unit down main stairs, and instead Big Fans rotated the breach, caught them off guard. So Big Fans has didn't ask in the palm of their hand right now. They're unpredictable. I think that's what happened. And so if Big Fans can continue to keep this certain level of unpredictability, well, they might be able to continue to keep Didn't Ask off guard and continue to string together more rounds. Delta Force looking to get very aggressive here on the trophy window, but an air jab has been placed preventing them from hopping out. Perseus to kick off the round as they bring down the hero from last round. Trevmac will fall as there will be no more ace clutch potential there in their palms, but plenty of time left in the round for the defense to make a response, but that is not what you want to see. Cordell able to bring down Destroyer. Delta Force brought down to just 1 HP now as Matt Bonger looking to hunt these 2 roamers down below. Only 1 player on the bomb site. Big Fans just hit the bomb site. Just go play. No, Matt Bonger will just win both fights against Space and Delta Force. So Swoof last alive and Solar. Matt Bonger just walks out up the stairs, bringing down the last defender. And Big Fans 1 round away from completing this comeback and sending us into overtime.
And now that Big Fans aren't giving up early picks to Didn't Ask, they're able to win. Didn't Ask are just they're just not hitting shots. Their positioning is off as they try to get aggressive. This Nomad has been a boon for Big Fans with those cutoffs. And I mean, they were down 6-2. Now we're 1 point away from going to overtime. We'll go down to the basement. Didn't Ask are going to run it back. They're 1-1 on this site. And all right, we'll have to wait and see. But for now, Big Fans don't have the Osa this time. And I don't know why they wouldn't bring her, because she worked so well.
She did, but maybe they're going to elect to clear and go for a backside take. Again, they're trying to keep Didn't Ask on their toes, so maybe that's the play. But if you want to keep them on their toes, bring the Osa, still set those shields out there, and just don't put anyone out there behind them. Or at least put a shield out there. You still have the EMP impacts that you could use, but instead, Perseus selecting to bring the pocket breach, or the pocket EMPs. Delta Force making a rotation outside of the big doors, but it's just going to be for the defense. Rather, I'm so confused. They're still going to open the main wall potentially as Matt Bonger's over here ready to do so, but no, completely ignoring the main wall immediately. At least they weren't able to open that main wall as easily with Trevmac doing the bandit trick, but that's not up for grabs anymore. Perseus still looking to be aggressive on the wall, but Jarden's nowhere near to be found, so a library full roam clear will take place. Obviously the Jackal being brought out by Cordell will help aid with this clear much faster, but Trevmac and Delta Force are both upstairs and trying to cause issues here with this attack.
Perseus looking like he spots space on the drone. The alibi of Trevmac hugging that chimney is able to get back downstairs. The Lion scan, I don't know if it spotted him. I didn't hear any pings coming out. There's Jackal pings, though. I think that was on to Trevmac, who retreats downstairs into the site.
Well, maybe just so able to do that. Delta Force will drop down the master hatch and back into kitchen dining. So they're still on the roam, and the bomb site currently occupied by 3 members of Didn't Ask. Half the road has passed on by, and Big Fans finally making their way down the top library stairs. Kosa has done a job in putting down the air jabs, but Destroyer will end Matt Bonger's round as the C4 comes through after the sledgehammer hit right above the Kaid, and the Kaid will remain alive. The C4 no longer, and along with the C4 goes Matt Bonger.
And I mean that. Wow, okay. Beautiful shot from Cordell. But that kill on Matt Bonger is so important because now without the Osa, you really need to make sure site's going to be clear before you go for this plant. You don't have the free coverage from those shields anywhere to walk on in, even if the anchors are still in, their relative positions. But now, no more sledge to force those anchors back. You'll have to figure something else out. You also, can they see the Electro Claw from there? Jackal's going to make a couple more holes to make it easier. Otherwise, Jarden can't breach just yet. Perseus is going to be impeded by that Banshee. And finally, wow, that impact actually did so much damage. Holy crap. Perseus is down to 50 HP now after a biblical impact from space. Destroyer just dies to Cordell through the open head holes before he's traded back by Trev. 3 versus 3. Smoke comes out. The drop in. Perseus down. Jordan trades. 2v2. Koza comes in from blue. Space gets 1. Looking for the second. But Koza's over on main stairs. He's able to get 1, but no, the time runs out and Swoop just hides. 7-5 for Didn't Ask. They move on to possibly make closed and eliminate Big Fans from the qualifier.
Big Fans nearly able to come back. I mean, we saw a great effort from them. Down 6-2, bringing it back 6-5, but Didn't Ask. Finally putting the nail in the coffin, and they project themselves right on into close qualifiers. Big Fans, after making close qualifiers last week, not the same results. Didn't Ask, though. They found themselves on in, and they'll have a chance to compete for a spot tomorrow and get into SCS Season 7, potentially. We've got a lot of tough opponents, and maybe they didn't have the best qualifier results in the initial open quals, but anything can happen tomorrow. It's best of 3s, but Didn't Ask, sealing their victory and stamping themselves into closed qualifiers to at least give them an opportunity to qualify.
Yeah, that is huge for Didn't Ask. And as of right now, they are in the top 16. Ooh, they're in 14. So that's pretty slim. But X13, Lego Fire Truck, and Butter Thieves are the 3 teams currently in the elimination zone. It might change depending on the tiebreaker, because the tiebreaker is based on the winning record of the teams you've played against. So your tiebreaker can still change before this round is up. So for example, right, 6 Karma, we were talking about how they dropped to 4th. Now them, Stay Safe, and Not Weebs all have a 31 tiebreaker, because of how, some of those matches earlier have gone. Some other results that happened while we were casting: Frauds, a 7-2 win over Lego Fire Truck, and Gangster Disciples 8-6 over Able Esports. So Able slightly lower. They, I think, have a risk. Oh no, wait, Able just got eliminated.
Oh, wow.
Holy crap.
That's a shocker. They were close too. I remember they were watching the B stream, and they had a 6-2 lead against Above the Law, and they blew it. And Above the Law won like 6 straight rounds or something like that.
Yeah,
and just took the win.
And especially from a team that I think came in like 1st or 2nd place last open qual.
They were up high. They were on
they were in the top
bracket.
4.
They were in the same bracket as EQ3.
Okay, so they were in the top 4.
Yeah, they were. I think
now
3rd.
Wow.
I think they were 3rd on the qualifier, and they don't even make it out of the 2nd group.
That's insane. So that's gonna do it for the streamed games, as another match has just finished. Somali Pirates 8-6 Above the Law. So Somali Pirates are also 6-2. So our 6-2 teams currently, right? Reality TV in first, 7-1. S2, 6 Karma, Not Weaves, Somali Pirates, Frauds, and Gangster Disciples, all on 6 wins. So we're getting down to it. I think there's actually only 3 more games that need to finish.
It's getting close.
Yeah, we're getting close, but unfortunately, we won't be able to watch it live because stream's over, game's over, we're done. That's the 8 games in Open Qualifier number 2. All that's left to go is tomorrow, our 2 best of 3s that we'll be streaming in that closed qualifier, and we'll know the last 4 teams who qualify. And then the season begins in
soon.
A week and a half, something like that. Right, the 29th.
I'm excited. There's some awesome matches that we're definitely gonna have, and I can't wait to see T3 talent against Pro League teams. I think that's the most excited thing I'm here for. I can't wait for Aerial Rise Academy to get matched up against a team like Oxygen or Astralis. I mean, it's gonna be exciting. I can't wait to
watch Aerial Rise Academy against Pro League teams. I think that's gonna be really fun.
That is gonna be so much fun. And it's gonna be cool to see these Pro League teams with new roster changes and additions. Obviously, Astralis just announced Spiker.
The Spiff.
Or Spiff. I'm sorry, Spiff. Joining them. There's too many S's. Too many S's that came from
A
Ariel.
different SPI name. Yeah,
Dude, listen, all right.
all good.
It's tired.
All
I'm
good.
late.
But
We're near there, but yeah, I'm excited. I think it's been really cool to see the new additions as well to those pro league rosters, because I have a feeling those rosters are going to want to get in their reps. They're certainly going to get good reps in against teams like Ariel or Isaac had.
That's a good point. This will be the first place that you get to see the new T1 roster changes in action. So tune in tomorrow at
It's an hour sooner.
6 p.m.
Yes.
6 p.m. Eastern for the first closed qualifier match, and then tune in on the 29th, the opening day of our regular season. Thank you so much for sticking with us through all the rehosts, all the trouble. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great night.